All right. Hello and good day. My name is Chris Palmer, and in today's keyword research SEO video, what I'd like to share with you is how you can do keyword research for your business. So what I want to lay out for you first and foremost is going to be how you can find proper service terms to target. So when you're building out your primary service pages, you know what abbreviations to use for your state, right? For your service pages, should you use words like repair or repairs? Should you use service or services, right? There is a difference. Which one should you be using? What's going to be best to use? The next element of keyword research that I want to share with you for your business is going to be how to build out your blog. You see, you're not building out blogs because I talk to business owners all the time. I'm not in business to build out content or build out a blog. And I agree. The blog is only there to assist the sale. You're only building out content in order to get more visibility so I can get more traffic to the website to offer my service or my product, right? So I want to help you and guide you in being able to structure your website and find keywords that are actually going to assist with the sale. It's the only objective of a blog. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I don't want to waste any time, but I do want to point out chrispalmer.org if you need any services at all, SEO, consulting, if you just want to learn SEO, anything SEO related, I can certainly help you out. Enough about me. Let me share with you how I can help you. So let me share my screen. Been a little under the weather. That's okay. I'm back at it now today. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and share the entire screen here, and we're going to get right into it. So first and foremost, I laid this out just to make things a little bit easier to, that was a little high pitch, a little bit easier to understand and walk. Debating on if I want to keep this name or go back to Chris Palmer Marketing. I'm not sure. You can let me know in the comments. But what I first want to point out is this. We're talking about main service pages. I'm going to use an example, but this example could be utilized whether you're a personal injury lawyer, whether you're a chiropractor, whether you're just a law firm, whether you're doing SEO, it doesn't matter. You're doing any type of business, local business. What we're going to discuss right now is going to be which keywords do we want to target, most notably, which variation do we want to target, how we understand, hey, which one's better, and how do we determine which one's better? And then on top of that, which variation of the keyword. So let's use an example, all right? One that comes to me a lot, I'm just going to use roofing as an example, okay? But this applies to anybody for anything, but we're going to use roofing as an example. What we want to first understand, the variation clause, right? Or whatever you want to call it. We're looking at roofing. Is it roofers or roofing? And how do we determine which variation we want? This is going to be determined by search volume. Search volume has cost per click. What's the traffic worth and what's the actual volume, right? This is going to make a better informed decision on what we need to target. Sometimes you'll target something that's lower volume if it's worth a lot more. If I can get a higher converting keyword, I don't care if there's less people, and I'm sure you don't either. So this is how we make this decision. Now, how is this done? What I utilize, and I laid this out on my small little graph here, is there's two ways to do it. You could do it the slow manual way, one at a time, but it's cheaper. You can save money, but you're gonna spend time, right? Same thing. Or you can spend a little bit of coin and you can earn back time. If you want to do it the manual way, but you're still speeding it up without having to type it in and then search, what I like to use, and I use both, keywords everywhere, all right? So keywords everywhere, I think you get 100,000 credits, which is like a boatload of searches. I use this every day, all the time. I've used 98,000. I shut it off, right? You saw how I just had to turn it on. I use it every day, literally. I've used, 2,000 credits? This is $10 per 100,000 credits. And what we can do is we're going to go to our little example here, roofing and roofers. Which one should we go for? Well, let's say that we're in Houston, or better yet, let's just do roofing. And what we're looking for is we want to know, well, which variation has a higher volume? So roofing is a 301,000 volume. See the volume and the cost per click? It's listed right here. So roofing and roofers. Okay, well, which one should we go for? So they're equal. So now what we want to do is we need to also, the next piece of it is, well, in the area that we're in, area that you're in, what is Google rewarding and what are my competitors targeting? So let's go to Houston now. Let's say we're going to Houston and it's roofing. Is it Houston roofing? Take a look at the SERP. SERP is the search engine results page. Houston roofing, Greater House. Now let's do roofers. And you saw that, right? Houston roofing had a 1900 volume, right? See this? 1900. We have the 1900 volume, 799. We have Angie, Gaff, and Yelp. These are 3 authority sites. Roofing it is. Roofing it is, right? Because the probability of us jumping in those top 3 spots, so the best we could hope for in this SERP is going to be number 4. So I'd much rather go for roofing because A, there's non-authorities in the top positions, B, Google's rewarding non-authorities in the top positions, and C, it has the same search volume and the cost per click is the same. So this is understanding the differences in how we determine which one is better. We determine what's better by search volume, cost per click, and who's in front of us. What's Google rewarding? And is it a high competition? Can I actually get in there? So this takes care of understanding keyword research analysis for primary service page. I'm not in your business. I've used one example. You know your services, right? So let's just stay on track with this roofing example. Right? But a roofing company does more than just roofing. So let's say it's roofing. Let's say that we do, oh, that's 90. How about decks? Right now, same 90. It's the same volume, but is there authority here? So we have Houston decks, Texas decks, and all. So how about deck install? I don't know. I'm just throwing keywords out there. What we're looking for is volume, who's the winner, and what's the cost per click. That's what we're looking for. I made a little sheet for you guys and gals too. I made a couple sheets for you and your business. If you come over here to the step-by-step, the first thing that you want to do is create a list of service-based keywords. First thing that you need to do is what's your service? Push keyword research to the side. What services do you provide? Okay, Chris, I do roofing, I do shingles, I clean up nails, I do paving, I install windows, I do solar system installation, make your list. Once you make your list of actual services, you can utilize either keywords everywhere to get proper keyword volumes. You can search for your variations, see what Google's rewarding and see what the cost per clicks are. If you want to speed up the process, this is what we talked about. There's 2 tools. If you want to speed it up, you can utilize a tool called SEMrush, right? This is the one that I like. There's tons of tools out there. These are the 2 that I use. You can do the same thing by coming over here like this. So you can put in roofing. So we could type this in. We're looking for broad match. We can run down the list and we could quickly see, oh, there's roofing repair, roofing company, roofing contractors. I'm looking over here. There's roofing installation, roofing contractors, roofing company, roofing repair. It's for you to decide which one of these are best. Like I could go through this for days doing different variations and different, again, I digress back to make a list of your services. The very next piece is either utilizing SEMrush or using keywords everywhere. The next piece is where are you doing your services at and which variations do you want to go with? Which ones have the volume? Which ones are going to be best? Now let's talk about variations or abbreviations. So something else I want to point out that I get questions about quite consistently, and first and foremost, I did this here. What keywords to target? This is based on your service keyword, right? We talked about that. The next thing was, well, should I use service? Should I use services? Should I use repair or repairs or install or installation, right? We talked about that. The next element that we're talking about is locations, location abbreviation. Let's stay right on with our roofing. So let's say that we've decided to go with roofing or roofers. Let's say roofing. So do we want to do roofing? Do we want to do roofing Houston? Or do we want to do Houston roofer? Most of the time, we're probably going to want to do roofing Houston, right? Or location then service. Sometimes it's service plus location. Usually location plus service. But we want to see and figure out, well, what is Google rewarding? What are the leading competitors doing? Are they putting roofing? Are they writing roofing Houston, Texas? Right? Is there a difference in the search? Also, too, is there a difference in search volume? So roofing Houston had 1,000. Roofing Houston, Texas had 1,000. Roofing Houston had 1,900. Or do we want to do, again, let's just stick with Houston or stick with roofing. Let's say we want to go at the state level. Do we want to do Texas, 170, or do we want to do TX? You see what we're doing here. You know your areas. There's 52 states, right? I could go through this. It would take forever to go through all of the different variants, but you get the drift here. Texas had 190. TX has 320. There's a clear winner here. Going to be TX. Roofing TX is where it's at. So this is how you determine for the state level. Do we want to use an abbreviation or do we want to spell it out? Each term that you look up, each keyword and each location, it's never blanket. You have to look for every single service that you do in every single location location. You need to come up with the best variation, the best keyword, and the best abbreviations or no abbreviation. Google ranks pages, not sites. Every page is different. Every page needs its own optimization. Every page needs its own keyword research. Every page needs its own backlinks. Every page. Let's talk about this. All right, I want to move on to the very next topic. So we've talked about keywords to target based on service. Talked about variations of your service, like service or services, repair and repairs. We've talked about locations. Do we want to use words like Texas or TX, right? Do we want to say Houston, Texas, or just Houston? Do we want to say Houston TX or just Houston, Texas? Every service, every location is always different. Now let me mention to you about structuring. So when we're creating our pages, you're going to have top level pages, aka pillar pages. I see this floating around quite consistently. I've seen it called all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, there's a top level page. Top level means it's the first subdirectory after the root. So if I have HTTPS, I'll zoom in here so you can see this better, mywebsite.com or yourwebsite.com / the primary service, law firm, New York City, whatever it's going to be, right? So this is the structure. If you're going to have more than one state, I know that this is a keyword research video, but the structure plays a massive. Let's say you're going to do a law firm, okay? And then you're going to have other secondary pages. On that law firm page, you'll list out all of your service pages, all of your location pages, right? Location service pages. And when you go to them, like see how this is? Law firm New York City. This is explaining service. Bear with me here. So I think I put this in. I wrote it out already. So main service pages. So it's going to be yourwebsite.com / primary service. When we're on the primary service page, say the primary service page is roofing in New York City. When I'm on this page and I click on that New York City page, it takes me to this. It's a fat structure. Roofing, New York City, right? This is if you're in one state. We could talk days about structuring and page structuring and silos, but I just want to point that out. You have a primary service page. You have your location pages. You're only in one state. You want to keep it as flat as possible. Now, we've talked about the keyword research tools. I'm utilizing Keywords Everywhere in SEMrush. This is what I use every single day. It does the job. They can be considered inexpensive, depending on who you ask, but they're definitely great tools. Now, let's talk about the supporting content and how you can find supporting content. We got the service pages out of the way. That's actually the easy part, coming up with the variations and the locations, because you know your service, you know your location. It's just a matter of, well, should I use an abbreviation or a variation? So like installer or installers is a variation, and then Texas or TX is an abbreviation. Easy stuff. Now, where it starts to get tricky and it's more fun and where I get the most questions is supporting content, aka informational content, okay? Or it could be considered commercial content. Let's start talking about this. Let's say that you've built out your service pages, right? Your services. Let's say you've decided to go with roofing. Roofing's one of your services. Let's say that shingle installer is another one, right? So roofing, all right, I should have wrote this out already. So roofing, another one could be, I don't know, decks. I don't know if these go together, probably not, but for sake of example, let's say that we've created a list of our service-based keywords. We want to find, ideally, 3 to 5 pieces of supporting content. The main goal here is not to generate blog. Well, it is, but the blogs or the content is there to assist the service or the product pages. They're not just cranking out content to crank out content. It's there to build relevance inside the silo to help boost the primary service and location pages. Also, too, this is where we can save money on link building. We can build cheaper links to our supporting content, building out supporting content to expand the amount of keywords and build out buffer pages so we can build links without jeopardizing our main service page. That's why we're doing it, right? Get a bunch of keywords and build a bunch of links without risk. So let's take a look at this. Let's say we're doing roofing, shingles, and decks. We need supporting content, aka blog content. Let's first and foremost talk about the structure of this. Let's say that you have, let's stick on point here. So let's say that you decide to go with, let's say for instance that you have, I don't know, multiple states. So let's say you're doing roofing. Let's say you're on the Houston page, roofing Houston. And now we're looking for supporting piece of content to support our Roofing Houston page. How do you figure that out? How do I go about doing that, Chris? This is where SEMrush excels because I can come into here. I'm in the keyword magic tool section, right? As you can see to the left-hand side, I've put in roofing. Now there's two ways that you can find supporting content, two good ways. You can come right in here and click on questions, okay, and go to intent and click information. So we're looking for informational questions about roofing that we can answer. Why does the roof of my mouth hurt? Well, that's not very relevant. How much does a new roof cost? Excellent supporting piece of content. Cat got one. How long does a roof last? Great. What an excellent piece of supporting content. How much is a new roof? Very, very similar. How to install metal roofing? You do metal roofing, that could be good for that, but we're looking for relevance. We're looking for relevance. Come on, we need one more, baby. Give me one more. How to get insurance to pay for a roof replacement. Oh, that's a good one. So now we found our three. You could do 5. You can honestly do as many as you, depending on budget and time frame. But let's say we're going to start with 3. We have a decent volume, looking good. I'm not overly concerned with keyword difficulty, and here's why, right? Don't get caught up on keyword difficulty, because if I look up how much does a roof cost, keyword difficulty is sky high. There's a trillion articles out there about it. So that means you probably need a 3,000 or 4,000 word article to make it make sense. And the reason why you don't care about keyword difficulty is because when you create a 3,000, let's just say a 2,500 to 3,000 word article, how much does a new roof cost and why you should do it and all of this like craziness about the supporting piece of content is because that page is going to rank for hundreds, tons of why you're going to build the supporting, because it's there to support the main. Or say you build out another 2,000 word. Now you could target and say, hey, I only want stuff that's going to be relatively easy to rank. That's up to you. I would much rather you build out a large piece of content targeting a keyword that actually matters, that's going to support the main primary page that we're trying to pitch and get relevant, effective traffic to the site. You're going to build it out. You might as well build it out. Let's say that we've decided to go with these 3. How much does a roof cost? What would be the next step, Chris? Well, you need to figure out how many words you need. Here's what I would do. I know this is outside of keyword research, but if I'm going to explain it, I might as well explain it. So what I would do is this. Change this to Houston, because remember, we're in Houston. So how much does a new roof cost? We need geo-relevant. We're a local website. We're local business owners, right? This is the Valentin app. It's free. Valentin app has a Chrome extension. Go to the valentin.app website, scroll down the page. There's a Chrome extension there. Download it. It's completely free. It works exceptionally well. Put in Houston or whatever location you're trying to target. Now we have geo-relevant SERPs, right? Because when I do this now and I scroll down the page, because it just keeps loading. Trust me, we're in Houston, see? In any case, I gotta rock and roll. Roofing, Texas. How much does a new roof cost? How much does a new roof cost? So now we have geo-relevant. This old house, we'll go to 2. This is called SEO Quake. We're looking for word counts. 2,400 words on that one. How many words is this? 2,400. 2,000. All right, you need a 2,000 to 2,500 word article. How much does a new roof cost? This is how you find supporting pieces of content. Get your primary service keyword, no abbreviations, no crap, whatever you decided on. There was roofer, roofing, whatever it is, throw it in the keyword magic tool and look up questions, broad match, informational. Some keywords barely throw back anything. So what do? Take off this informational, come into here and click related, go to the related, and then look for your questions, see if there's any good answers there. And if you have a boatload like this, click on informational. So now you have informational that's related to the main keyword. Start grabbing your keywords. This is more like it. Usually you're going to have low volumes. Don't worry about volume. Don't worry about KD. You're building out supporting content to support the primary service. Don't worry about volumes. Don't worry about KDs. Use content to support the primary service page. That page is going to rank for dozens of keywords. Even if it only produced one more job, is it worth the $20 to create the article? Yes! Yes, definitely. The content costs less than the links. The best part is, if I can crank out a bunch of content and I get it to rank and I optimize it, I'll save dough on the links. So I'll be able to get more traffic, more relevance to the primary service page, and I won't have to go out there and buy $30 links pointing at the primary service page. Why? Because I have a 5-level silo that's cranking out content that's hyper relevant, all pointing internally to that service page. I hope this helps you. I hope this helps you out, man. In any case, These are the two ways that you use this tool to find supporting content. So how is it structured? I showed you the word count. I showed you how to find the supporting. How do you structure it? You structure it as if it's supporting the main page. Here's what I mean by this, and then I gotta go. When you take a look at this, you have https yourwebsite.com. Let's say that you want to just support your location page. You're only in one state. So you have / that's your supporting piece of. Where is all that content listed? It's listed in the blog section, right? And there's a list of it. It doesn't have to be this. I see this all the time. Yourwebsite.com / blog / how much does a roof cost? I'm on the blog. All the blogs are listed. When I click on the article, it takes you directly to this page. You can list them all in the main navigation wherever you want, but it's there to support the primary service. I used to never waste my time with this supporting stuff, but things have changed in the last year immensely. I highly recommend it. It will be like night and day for your business. So to wrap things up, we talked about primary services. We talked about making a list for primary services. We talked about different variations of keywords. For example, service and services, install and installers, installation, right? These are called variations. And we talked about abbreviations like Texas or TX. That's an abbreviation. Do we want to add stop words like roofing in Texas? Usually you don't, but you want to check. What's Google rewarding? What's the competition? Is there authority sites in front of me? Then we talked about supporting content. I showed you how to utilize SEMrush in order to find supporting content. You can use all these other tools, but it's all laid out fast, very easy to use. We talked about the main services. We talked about structure. We talked about figuring out how many words we need. Same solution that I shared with you for your supporting content, utilizing SEO Quake to see what the density of the word count is. You do that same thing for your service page. So say you decide to go with roofing company Houston. Let's say that's what you decide to go with. Generally, I'll just change the location and put in the primary. But then you go to the top winner, you go to like number 1 and number 2, and you figure out with SEO Quake, well, how many words do they have? 1,200? That's how many words I'm writing. 1,200 words. 1,200 words for that. This is the same process for supporting content. So we talked about supporting content. We talked about services, abbreviations. We talked about variation. Talked about a lot today in today's keyword research video for business owners. My name is Chris Palmer. If you need any assistance with this type of work, please reach out at chrispalmer.org. Book a session. I'll be happy to help you. Anything at all. If you just have a question, ask in the section below. Of course, I always look forward to seeing you in the next Keyword Research SEO, how to do keyword research for business owners video. I got to run. You have a blessed day. Been a pleasure. I love you. Thank you for the time. I'll see you in the next one.